All right, driving experience of the Audi Q8 E-Tron Sportback Quattro, long name. Okay, first off, when you walk towards your car and then you unlock the door, you come inside here, what you will see is the buckles light up. Look at that, the buckles light up. The back there, look at that. The ambient lighting lights up and the buckle lights up. And then, okay, let's put on my seatbelt before the car decided to, okay, and switch on the ignition. Why does this sound like that? I thought Hyundais do that. Okay, yep, come on, enough. One screen, two screen, three screen, four screen, five screen. A lot of screens, a lot of lights. And the ambient lightings are pretty subtle, like what Audi does. This, and this lines is one set. The one below is another. So you can change them to different colors, okay? And wait, this is an aluminum strip. Oh, wow. No, it's not a reflection from above. Pretty cool. Okay, let's turn on the lights. There we go. Okay. There you guys can see better. Okay, first off, it's very familiar to Audi owners. That means Audi do not think that just because I produce an EV, I have to make it look EV-ish, as in clean up the whole interior intentionally and then put a large screen here, aka Teslafication of their cars. Anyway, there's still a lot of physical buttons. There's still a lot of places that I see are static. So it's funny. Some are touch sensitive, static plastic. Okay, so I'm touching plastic here, which is a physical thing, but it's touch sensitive. This is a physical button, okay, physical button. And these are on the side of the screen, just like this one, but it's part of the screen, and these as well. So it's, yeah. And some things I can just touch and scroll, all right? Some things I couldn't. I have to press. I have to intentionally press. See, I can scroll, but these things I have to. I cannot, see, I cannot, even if I give it a very confirmed touch, it's not going to do anything except, ooh, light up. Ooh. I think Audi put a lot of effort in, look at that. That is, oops. No! They put a lot of effort. See, the things move a bit. Wow. Wow. Oh, you can change their placement. And why does it not squeeze out a spot for me? Okay. So we can customize, I reckon. Not much. There's only so much you can do. Done. Go back. Nothing. If I hold it, touch it, nothing. But if I press, there we go. So that's how it works, okay? So they put a lot of effort in the graphics. Just unlike some Chinese cars, it's just an icon, right? This is proper, and it has that nice, classy CI, of Audis. Not bad. But I noticed one thing. That's all it does. It's like a static display that is constantly there, which means everything is accessible at one touch. But okay, we'll go to that later. Okay, let's drive the car first. All right. That's the best I can do. Okay, let's go. Took me what, 30 minutes? I hope you guys can see clearly. Yeah, I guess that's the best I can do now. I can't do much. So what happened is that my mount broke. So there are two metal balls. So one end broke. So I have to open both of them up, swap them around, so that the one that is not broke is attached to the suction cup. The one that is broke is attached to the camera, and then I sort of if I don't turn on my screen, you guys can see the reflection. I don't know whether you guys can see yourself or not. Anyway, yeah, I have to lodge it. Wait, yeah, this is how my setup look like now. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see yourself? Yeah, it's lodged on the headrest. Anyway, improvisations are needed when we need to solve problems. Okay. Okay. Sorry for that. Yeah, my camera mount broke, so that's why I have to improvise, and hopefully you guys can still see things. So this is the Audi Q8 E-Tron Sportback Quattro. I hope no more stuffs at the back there. 480,000 if you want the 5-year warranty and 150,000 km warranty, and 460 plus thousand if you only want 2 years warranty. Very interesting a proposition, but I believe at a price point of 480,000, nobody would want to save 3 years of warranty for a mere 20,000 ringgit. At this price point, at this level, even the kind of tires that you buy for your car, I do not know the rim size of this car, but I'm gauging at least 22, at least 21, and probably 22 inches, okay? You have to watch the walk around video to see the details. This is the driving video. This is purely the driving video. And at this price point, at this kind of tire sizes, 4 tires already cost you 10,000 ringgit. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Nevertheless, what is this? EV, 400 plus horsepower. Or if I don't talk about EV, let's not talk about EV. Let's throw the EV thing out of the way. Okay. This car, this Audi, which looks exactly like a combustion Audi. There are literally no difference in its interior. It's a bit like, yeah, I'm making this is an EV, but it's an option. It is an option of a drivetrain choice. All right, no big deal for Audi. It's like no big deal. It's still an Audi. It's still gonna have the same interior. Why would I want to Tesla-fied my cars and make it look ultra minimalistic, ultra clean, and put a big screen there just because I'm an EV and I have to, you know? You understand what I mean, right? So the interior, this is on every other Audi, every other modern Audi. So this has been their infotainment system, their screen situation, which in my walk around video, you probably I will delve more into it, because seeing what the Chinese are doing with their screens, I think that Europeans ought to give more thoughts into how to best utilize the situation of a screen. I'm going to cut short there, the aircon panel, right? It used to be an aircon panel with physical touch buttons, very easy to use and all that. And they just replaced the same position with the screen, with the same buttons, permanently, statically stuck there. What's the point then? What's the point of going to a digital screen when you're not giving extra functionalities or extra graphics or whatnot? You're just replacing physical to digital. That's it. And then all the buttons placement are still the same. Less nice to press, less easy to operate. Okay, anyway, out of that. It's traffic jam. Let's go with traffic jam assist. Look at that Myvi at the back. He was so far away. I put on my turn signals and he or she tried her best to accelerate up to close the gap after I've signaled for so long. Anyway, it's the perfect time to do adaptive cruise control. Let's try adaptive cruise control. I'm gonna turn it on now and set the speed, and then I'm gonna increase the distance and increase the speed. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Brake, bro, brake. Okay, the car is doing the traffic jam by itself. The car has lane keep assist, as in it bounces off the lanes. But one thing that so far I've been looking around, I couldn't find is the one that centers you in the lane, which I seldom use that, to be honest, because truth be told, I believe traffic jam or adaptive cruise control or L2 pilot assist and all that, right, should only be used in traffic jams and not in regular smooth driving traffic or a long distance highway drive. Probably you can on the adaptive cruise control, but in terms of the self-centering thing, I don't think it is something that I want to encourage people to use because of the complexity of environment and all that. I know in some other countries they have L4 now. You know, you come out from your office and your car just steers its way back home, you know, observing traffic and all that. I mean, not easy to achieve that. But I'm talking about the context of Malaysia. I think that the best thing that happens to cars is adaptive cruise control, traffic jam assist. That means in a traffic jam situation, I barely need to do much. The car will stop and go by itself, which this car is doing perfectly now. And in terms of the steering, it's not good to let the car steer itself because it will do so in the absolute middle of the lane, pretending to be a train, and it doesn't suit our environment because at times there will be motorcycles that want to pass through. At times a certain car from there wants to come out. You know, it's a dynamic situation. So I think I don't mind that I couldn't find the lane centering thing, or whether this car don't have it. Let me know, because so far I've been trying to look around, I couldn't find it, but it's something that I don't really use anyway, and I don't encourage people to use anyway, especially in a traffic jam situation where people will want to move out of their lanes during a traffic jam more often than when the traffic is smooth, right? Anyway, okay, get that out. This car does it perfectly. I don't see the car panicking. It does so well. It's the braking. Let's try the braking. Braking is smooth. Re-acceleration is good. Which car was it the other day? Adaptive cruise control, that when it stopped and when traffic rolls off, it does a bit of that, you know. I think it's a BYD. I could be wrong. I'm trying to recall what car I've driven. Anyway, this is perfectly smooth. I can see what the car sees on the left side of my screen in front of me. Depending on two configurations, there's two layout configurations, two dials, and the center would be what the car sees, or the center is all the speed information, and then you have left, right. But that part, you have to watch the walk around video. Audi did some mistakes over there, very funny mistake. Anyway, how's the car? Super quiet, very nice to drive as an SUV. It's steering, okay, the whole car in comparison to the car that I just returned, the Zeekr 009, right? The Zeekr 009 is supremely comfortable. It is tidy handling. It is just nice, but it's also huge, okay? But immediately coming into this, you feel that German hardness, you know, in a lot of things, touch points, suspension, but overall, and it's also the type of tightness or tautness that I'm so used to because I'm an Audi fan, all right? I am a biased Audi fanboy. I love Audis, and that familiarity when I close the door, you know, and then I try the what, powered doors, you know, all four doors are powered doors. Where this is expensive stuff, right? All four doors, or some people call it vacuum doors. I mean, they are no longer vacuum doors. Back then, in those days, to achieve this, they really do use a vacuum pump to lower the in-car air pressure so that the atmospheric pressure presses the door in. Can you believe that? Back then, that's why they're called vacuum doors, right? But now it's not. It's just the hinge hidden. No, the catch inside the door has a pulling mechanism to pull itself in. All right. Anyway, this car has it. All four doors are powered doors. Powered boot. You get high spec headlights. You get panoramic roof. You get Bang & Olufsen sound system. Even though I kind of missed that, you know, Audi was the first who started that, the tweeter that rises up. And that was cool, man. Cool as hell. Now it's just a text there, Bang & Olufsen, and down here no extravagant Bang & Olufsen designs, just a text there. Sort of like, are they downplaying, you know, the brand Bang & Olufsen? Bang & Olufsen is a bonkers brand. You guys should go and check out back in the early 2000s, right? How their CD players work, how their TV screen rotate and the speaker comes down. They are art and design and technology all into one. But of course, in the modern world, this is their car portion, all right? So the older Bang & Olufsen's, they are legit proper. I'm not sure if the newer ones, they can't be bad. This is an Audi. Bang & Olufsen has a lot of reputation to uphold. And I'm just a little bit disappointed that they not do some extravagant Bang & Olufsen shit over here, you know, like Zeekr, Yamaha, wow, they have this art piece over here. Volvo, they have one over here. BMW 6 Series back in 2012, 2013, if you spec the Bang & Olufsen stereo system, this freaking thing rises up. You know, like my Audi and my other car, my Aston, both cars, when I start the engine, the Bang & Olufsen tweeters, they rise up. So if this is Bang & Olufsen, why? You know, anyway, come back to the driving. I love the size of the steering wheel. I love the girth of the steering wheel. BMW, please learn. Not everyone likes it thick. Okay, sorry. This is just nice. This is a very nice steering wheel. This girth is perfect. The size of the steering wheel is perfect. The little flat bottom at the back actually has proper use because I have fat thighs. There are people with fat thighs, okay? Easier for us to go in and out when it's not rounded down there. Okay, anyway. It steers really well, it handles really well, the chassis is very tight. Even though it's air suspension, right? Its ability to fly over certain speed bumps and not experience that air suspension panicky looseness and that kind of sudden katung, you know, that sometimes happens to some air suspensions, is pretty well done. So it's they call it what, adaptive air suspension. So I kind of like this air suspension because there is a tightness to it when it needs to. Okay, and the drive select, there's auto. I think for Audi usually you have an auto mode, which a lot of cars don't have, you know. A lot of cars, right, they now have like, oh, sports mode, comfort mode and all that, but Audi is the earliest with an auto mode in their driving mode selector, you know. Even my Audi back in 2009 S4 has an auto mode. That means if you're driving slowly, cruising very smoothly, the car will automatically go into comfort mode and let you be as comfortable as possible. But the moment you whack the throttle, the car immediately tightens up and goes into dynamic mode. I think that's brilliant. I think that is brilliant. And of course, the best that I've heard recent years is Aston Martin in the DBX 707. You went into Sport Plus mode, the whole car is still very comfortable, and you're like, huh? But the moment you turn the steering wheel, depending on angle and speed, the car knows when to tighten up the suspension. So compared to the likes of others that goes into that super tight mode when you are in Sport Plus, that was brilliant. Anyway, I believe dynamic adjustments of these kind of driving characteristics should be available in all cars. Anyway, I'm now in a traffic jam, so nothing much I can do but let you guys hear the sound of traffic. This is double pane glass as well. Single pane, but it's pretty thick here. Close it. Yeah. Audi being Audi, there's a lot of things that Audis don't screw up. Ergonomics, perfect. Arm placement and all that. Storage, very good. Cubby spaces. Yeah. The side mirror. The side mirror. The digital side mirror. Okay, I know in a lot of countries in Audi this is a specification if you want to. Yesterday night I experienced the good part about this digital side mirror. It was pouring. The past few days in KL, right? Daytime is freaking hot and then nighttime is pouring. And the rain was so strong. Usually in this type of rain situation, we barely can see anything from our our side mirrors. Why? Because the water droplets. Secondly, at night it's dark, and then the headlights of other cars, of things and all that will just refract everywhere, and you barely can see much from your side mirrors. But this car, given that its cameras is super duper clear, so I appreciate that. However, I think Audi needs to do something with how the graphics are projected and adjusted. I have no idea what's the resolution of the camera out there, but I'm pretty confident that this is a crop image from that resolution of that, so that you can adjust your mirrors. You get what I mean? So it is a larger resolution video that, when displayed here, has been cropped so that when we are adjusting our mirrors, it does that. Okay, but what it doesn't do is the actual angle of reflection, right? When we are adjusting our mirrors, we have an actual angle of reflection of the mirror, and that helps us judge the depth and different parallax of things that coincide with our understanding of our physical environment. What this doesn't do is exactly that. That's why in reverse, when we are reversing cars, there is just a lack of information that we could have gotten sometimes by just moving our head, right? When we move our head, there is a parallax effect when we are moving our head, because that helps us construct the full three-dimensional situation in our brain so that we understand what we're doing. But this camera cannot do it, because when I'm adjusting this, I am not adjusting the little camera outside. No, the camera stays. It is a high resolution that has been cropped to show me different cropping parts. That doesn't cut it at all in a reversing, difficult maneuvering situation at all. That doesn't help, okay? It merely helps in helping me see the surrounding behind, whether there is a car or no car. That's it. And in terms of judging distance from cars, it is okay for further cars that are moving and coming towards me. It is not so okay for cars immediately behind me. It's very hard to gauge their distance when they are immediately behind us, okay? I think what Audi can do is that, given that this is a digital screen, given that on-screen overlay is not a new thing now, right? So I think what Audi could do is, at least on the visual projected, the little part of our own car that we see, please indicate a line that is where our car's boot, that means further outward part is, and project that onto the rest of the road, so that we can at least know whether the car behind has crossed that line or not. When it has crossed, I know it is this situation. When it hasn't crossed, I know I can come out. I know the car lights up the blind spot warning light, you know, like the whole thing lights up in yellow. It's not enough. That is not enough. They should have some on-screen projections onto the visual to give us more information, okay? Other than that, yeah, it's a comfortable car. Now, should you buy this car? The driving experience and all that. It drives well. It certainly drives well. It's comfortable. It's quiet. Exterior is big. Interior is not exactly as spacious as the name suggests. You see, for this interior, if it is called a Q4, then people will relate it, or a Q5, people will relate it to the segment of, you know, GLC, X3, which this car is more or less the same size. But when it's called a Q8, people will automatically correlate to cars of what size? Touareg, X5, right? This is certainly not in that league in terms of interior space. And then there is another ultra popular EV that BMW sold a lot of them, right? The BMW iX. That car, you see, that's the interesting part. That's the interesting part about that car versus this car. This car is not ugly. That car is ugly. However, that car is attractive. This car, people don't give much attention to it because it looks like any other Audi. And people don't even realize this is a new Audi because it carries on the same Audi lines, it carries the same Audi front headlight grills and all that. Tail light, yeah, there's a light bar now, but every single car has a light bar these days, right? So in car making, you want to attract attention. You don't want to be ignored. And I think the iX caught everybody's attention, and people were so offended by how it looks. so they decided to check it out. You know, it's that situation where you make people hate you so that people take note of you. I believe that's the trick that BMW is doing. So when people check out their car in showrooms, they were absolutely mesmerized by that car's interior, because it is like nothing you see out there. It is nothing like other BMWs. It's a lovely interior. And then they go for a drive and the car is very, very comfortable. And then they buy it and the car sells like hotcakes, right? So that's the thing. This car, exterior, interior, looks just like any other Audi. It has its qualities, which is, you know, its handling, its comfort and all that. It's okay spacious, but not extremely spacious. It's usable. The boot is not the largest, but again, it's usable. And then the shape of the car. This is essentially a 4-door sports coupe SUV kind of thing, right? So yeah, interesting. So what do you think? Are you attracted to this car at 400-ish thousand? Not ish lah, high 400s. Not cheap. Will you buy? I'm an Audi fan. It feels so familiar, even though I really hate the aircon panel. And Audi had the best screen, but seems like they haven't done much to it compared to Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes did a lot. Mercedes improved a lot. Mercedes digital speedo is the best. You know, has all the relevant information, has all the customizability. BMW is the worst still. BMW still has the worst digital speedo compared to this. And yeah, it's a nice car. Great handling and all that. Okay? So if you think the brand, the logo, like BMW, like Audi or Mercedes-Benz, deserves the premium, then you go ahead. But if you're someone who is from Chinese cars, especially Chinese EVs, and you want to upgrade, and you're checking out these, right? I'll just be honest with you. The Chinese cars does the driving part just as well. Handles just as well. I'm talking about BYD Sea Lion or Seal. Yeah. And that will be a very interesting future to see how things goes. Because in petrol cars, it used to be a very obvious thing. When you are in a Civic or Mazda 3, you work hard and then you splurge on a 450,000, 480,000 German car. Your car will be quieter, faster, more comfortable, more tech, more speed, more prestige, more space, more of everything. In the EV environment, when compared to Chinese cars, that's not the case, because the Chinese cars can build interiors just as good, if not better, than the Germans. And their infotainment situation, the screen resolution, the graphics and all that are much better than the Germans. And then when it comes to EV driving, handling, comfort and all that, I don't see an edge in being a German. I can't find where my 300,000 is apart from the logo when compared to a BYD, even though I'm an Audi fan. If this is a petrol combustion car, there's no challenge, because Chinese won't be able to build better petrol engines than the Germans. They are not as efficient as the Germans. They are not as powerful. Their transmissions aren't as good. Their handling aren't as good because of all that. But in an EV environment, everything flipped. And as a fan, as an enthusiast as a lover and a historian of German car industry or Japanese car industry and all that, which they played a part and contributed a role in the whole development of the car industry, I'm worried that in the next 5 years, everyone who has gotten exposed to Xpengs, to BYDs, to Zeekrs, what other brands are coming in? Denzas, all these, right? They would be sitting there scrubbing their head. If all cars are electric in the future, right? They will be scrubbing their head. Why? Why do I even want to go BBA anymore? BBA is an abbreviation term that is popularized by China. BBA means Benz, BMW, Audi, okay? It meant the entire segment, including Lexus and all that, right? It's like, why? Yeah, I think that's what I get out of this whole experience of continuously being bombarded with Chinese EV cars, BYD, Zeekr, Denza, blah blah and all that, and then suddenly coming into an Audi that is in every way competent, just as competent as any of their great internal combustion cars that they make, drives just as well, just that this is electric and it's quieter, smoother acceleration. But suddenly the comparison is against a totally different thing. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it. Not much of fast driving in this car, in this video. It's just traffic jam and chit chat. All right, cheers. All right, traffic has cleared up. Let's accelerate. Smooth acceleration, even though the official figures aren't that super impressive. It's at 5.6 seconds to 100. That is even slower than the Volvo S60 T8. But nevertheless, EV being EV, you get meaningful acceleration, smooth, and let's pump it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Whoa, that is rapid acceleration. Brakes are good, and that's where Audis shine. Cornering. Look at that. Proper handling. Is that a Rolls Royce in front of me? Yes. Who is quieter now? I'm in an EV. Whoa, that's a fast Rolls Royce. That's a Rolls Royce Ghost, previous generation. And that's the thing with EVs, you know, because there's no engine, it's smooth, it's fast, it's comfy. So does the Chinese. That's always at the back of my head now. So tell me, guys, leave it in the comments. If you have driven some modern BYDs or Xpengs or whatnot, right? Have you driven the German EVs? And if you have, put aside the brand and try to just judge on the acceleration, the braking, the comfort, the driving and all that. Are they that big of a difference to you? All right? That justifies the price differences. Yeah, let me know that. I know the logo means something. It does, right? There's a certain prestige to it, but is it as big as they were back then? when the world is still running on dinosaur juices. Pretty much the world still is. And oh, look at that Volvo S90. Beautiful car. Beautiful. Gorgeous car. Now this is where it shows this car's tightness. A bump, another bump. Solid stuff. Yeah, man. Not bad. I mean, in terms of design, I certainly prefer this car's design over the Sea Lion. Sea Lion to me is a bit... I can't say it's ugly, but it's not my type of design. But that car is spacious. The rear seats are more comfortable than this one. This one, the rear seats are too straight. And it's not exactly as spacious as the number suggests. You know, a number 8, a Q8. In the name. Inside, I don't see I get that much more from a BMW iX3. Of course, iX3 doesn't give you this same grade of seats. This is a high grade seat. This seat is the same as the one I have in my Audi RS6, and the Audi RS6 used to be what, 1.1 or 1.2 million, and you get the same grade of seats. You get the powered doors, you get the electric virtual side mirrors, panoramic roof, all that. So yep, it's nice to drive. Tight chassis, crossing over a speed bump just like that, which I can't do the same with the Zeekr, even though that is a huge MPV. Okay. It's a nice car to drive. The sound you hear is my smart tags wriggling about in the car. Okay. Where is my... There we go. My visitor parking tag. And I also appreciate that this car doesn't make those crazy noise like BMW EVs do, you know, the Hans Zimmer thing. That gets annoying after a while, to be honest. This one is a very, very, very subtle sound that indicates acceleration and deceleration, which is comfortable. Yeah, trying to reverse with this side mirror is nigh on it's just impossible to get any useful information while I'm reversing, trying to reverse into a spot. Here it shows a line, but it's only there when I'm reversing. The line comes out. But why not do it when I'm driving? So when you're reversing in this car, right, you cannot see the parking lines from the side mirrors at all. You just can't see it, right? Yeah. And then I have to rely on this screen. But I have a suggestion for Audi. Since you have two screens, right? You have your aircon panel down here, you have this up here, right? Why can't you give me a full-size 360 and a full-size reverse down here? I know that the aircon panel is always there for ease of use. I'll be honest, in terms of touchscreen, air condition controls, Audi's one is the most convenient because it is permanently down here. I can just press it, right? Can you guys see it? I don't think you guys can see it. Let me move you guys out because this is broken anyway. I broke my... Ah, shit. All right. This is permanently here. So, and the buttons are huge. So when I'm driving, I just take one glance and I can press things compared to some other screens where you have to fire up the aircon menu and all that. All right. But I reckon they can do more with the dynamism of what to be shown, options and all that. So far, it could have been better. given that they have 3 screens. I appreciate how they integrate the screens into the dashboard instead of just sticking one huge TV here. I like this more, but in terms of the UI, I believe if they hand this to the Chinese car makers, they can do more dynamism with what to be shown during what. Okay? Other than that, there is some stuffs that are just funny, that they try to squeeze things in and then split them into some sub menus and all that, but the inconsistency is not there. Certain things that you thought, oh, I want to adjust that, I should press the car, I should press what, lights and vision. Vision probably means my side mirror. You go in, not there. You have exterior lighting, ambient lighting, and then the rain sensor. That's it. You say light and vision, where's the vision part of this? And there is so much space here. Why can't I adjust the virtual side mirror inside this menu, given that it's light and vision, park under car settings, and where's the back button? Under car. No, it's on this drop down menu. Press the gear thing, which is settings, and then under display and brightness, that's where you do your virtual cockpit. Why can't this whole thing be inside light and vision under car settings? You see what I mean? Inconsistency. Anyway, the car drives well. It's not cheap, but it's a premium brand. But does it justify that premium? You answer me in the comments in this time and day versus other EV cars. But overall, it's a good looking car. I found my neighbors driving iX2, iX3, checking out this car. My neighbor who has a 7 Series also checking out this car, especially without the side mirrors. It looks futuristic, but I don't think it's the most practical implementation in terms of the UI for the virtual side mirrors. They could have done it much better. And yeah, I guess that's it. For the rest of the interior deep dive, there is another video. All right? I hope this is as informative as I can get with the broken tripod. Not tripod, my broken suction cup. Okay? And yeah, cheers.